Hello, everybody, and welcome to Detail Media Podcast number 2. I'm your host, George Evans, and today joining me is...
James Hellman.
Jason Reed.
So today, we're going to start off discussing a little bit about the relentless amount of Rogue One trailers. There has been a hell of a lot.
It doesn't help how many times they get shared every single day as well.
My Facebook is just covered in them.
My face was covered in the posters.
I know, everywhere. Like, I'm not going to lie, I'm looking forward to seeing it. My hopes aren't that high.
I just want Darth Vader to be a badass. That's all I want.
I'm looking forward to it, but I imagine it's going to be another hype thing. That's my worry. That's what I had with Episode 7.
I loved Episode 7 anyway.
They probably looked at Episode 7 and thought, it didn't do quite as well as it did. And then they thought, missing link. The Empire wasn't around.
But the thing was, the Episode 7 was a box office success.
Yeah.
But that's probably because it was riding off the high of the sagas. Although the original saga hadn't been, or nothing had happened in that set of films and all that in a long time.
I think it did well because it was a cracking bloody film, mate.
I don't know. It just seemed like another paint over. In all fairness,
that's all I wanted.
the main gripe I've got about Episode 7 is the fact that Disney's just like, yep, all of that wonderful extra story content we gave you over the last 30 plus years, that's out the window now. Yeah. The only thing that's canon is the 6 films, now 7, and the 2 animated series. Nothing else is canon.
They're still going to use it as...
Where? Boba Fett. He survived.
They're still probably going to use it as source for other material, though. Like, it'll still be influence heavy by it.
Yeah, but still, they're
not going to go right the way through and tell you, this isn't right, this is right, this isn't right. They're just casting it all off.
The extended universe was, so spot on. It was so good. And the amount of stories that came out of it.
But also then, I don't like that because, personally, I feel slightly completionist, like I have to read and see everything about something. So
exactly. So just do that with everything.
I wouldn't be able
with all the games, all the books, all the series.
So if it's something I'm really into,
set a couple of years of your life aside, and you'll be fine.
Imagine if they started doing that to other things. Yeah, like Lord of the Rings.
He's got a point.
Yeah, but that's
if the film industry suddenly took over and said, "Okay, the books are no longer legit."
Yeah, but that's based off of Tolkien stuff, and the Tolkien estate isn't going to sell off what he's got.
No, I suppose LucasArts were a bit significant.
See, my biggest gripe with Episode 7 was the fact that it was just another
brilliant film.
It was a reskin. In all fairness, the original trilogy,
beautiful reskin.
they managed to fit
A New Hope and Return of the Jedi. Pretty much the same thing happened. Different way about doing it.
I mean,
it's a case of they've got this big killer star, the Death Star.
Yeah,
they've got to blow it up. That's pretty much it. So what did they do in number 7? They've got this really big Death Star that can destroy planets. Hang on, I've heard this before. They've got to go in.
It can destroy multiple planets at the same time by using the energy of the sun. Get it right.
Different.
God.
Where a case of they've got to wait on Han Solo once again to disable the shield generator.
Yeah, well, now
again, this is really familiar. Like I seem to have heard this before.
I know, but spoiler alert: Han Solo dies there.
When did that happen?
About bloody time. I love him as a character, but it's like even Harrison Ford said.
Harrison Ford has always wanted him to die.
Yeah, he said his character outlived. By the end of A New Hope.
Yeah, and he's made bank from it.
Yeah. Chewbacca's supposed to die first.
According to the extended universe.
And also, Han Solo's son is not even supposed to be a Jedi.
He's a whiny
little
bitch.
He's a Sith.
You got me there.
He's just another little whiny bitch. That's the problem.
Yeah, he's
Disney's
Anakin.
got the money. They
Anakin
can do what they want.
2.0.
See so much of Anakin that even he wants to be Anakin.
Anyway,
no, because Anakin was conflicted the other way.
We've gone really off topic from Rogue One. I must say, though, from the one trailer I watched of Rogue One, it does look really good.
Yeah.
Just because I think it's got no Jedi. It's got no Jedi whatsoever in it.
No.
It's just simple soldiers against Darth Vader.
In spaceships.
Good luck to them.
But my worry is, and we've seen this a lot recently, what happens if they've put all the good bits in the trailer. You go and watch the film.
Haven't been watching the trailers.
Me neither. I've watched one, like
See,
I just said.
I've watched them.
Then you're a fool.
Aye.
Why
quite
haven't you
possibly.
learned, George?
I learned back when Halo Reach first came out to
I
not
like
watch
Reach.
all the trailers and
I
hype
like
yourself up
Reach.
because I was very disappointed when that came out.
See, I don't see why people have such a big gripe with
When
Reach.
did you start playing Halo?
After Reach.
Exactly. I was there since the first.
All right.
So, shh.
I just gave up on Xbox by that point.
I'm sorry. Xbox did have a glory day when Halo 3
they did,
was
and
out.
it's ended.
360. The ones aren't that great for console.
Some of my best gaming memories have actually been on the 360.
Yeah. I've split screen, Halo, couple of mates. That's all. That's all you needed. That's people's childhood.
We need to record 4 people just smashing through every single campaign.
I wanna do a load of Let's Plays in Halo.
Yeah.
I think we could have a lot of fun with that.
And yeah, so talking about Halo, that brings us nicely into Blizzard's new hiring.
Yeah, so they are apparently looking to make a first-person shooter.
Another one.
Another one. Well,
After the success of Overwatch, you can see why they would be thinking it. Although it could just be more like a single-player variant of like the Overwatch game, something like that.
I
That's always
do think
possible.
Overwatch having a campaign would be awesome, but at the same time, I do believe they'd be better doing a film for Overwatch or an animated series than an actual single person, a one-person campaign. Because I've played against those bots; they're not as fun as you think they'd be.
Blizzard is a multiplayer. Everything that they do is pretty much designed around multiplayer. Even something like Diablo is still designed with multiple people in
I mean,
mind.
don't get me wrong, the single-player storylines to Diablo and StarCraft,
Fantastic.
amazing, just some of the best storylines ever. But again,
It's still
that's coming back from when they used to be,
Yeah.
when they started out as a sort of more of a single player.
But the joys now of things like StarCraft or Diablo is going and playing with your mates.
Yeah,
Like that is the
Just
joy of it.
the FPS market is just so
Saturated.
saturated. But they've proven that they can
Let-
still make a lot of headway in that area.
let's face it, pretty much anything Blizzard does at this point just tends to go alright.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
They've got a lot of money to market it well. They've got a lot of money to make the game well. A lot
Yeah.
of experience. I mean, they're just always going to
I
do
mean,
it better.
Every Blizzard employee that I've seen who leaves Blizzard and they continue on doing, for instance, like art from, I think it's Code Brush,
I'm not sure. Not sure.
that they do absolutely fantastic work, and you can just see how Blizzard have made games that are just so amazing. Because if they have over 100 employees of that caliber, it's it is no surprise how they make their games so polished. Then again, some of that stuff isn't that great.
No,
When
but
it's
they
first released anyway, they do have a lot of bugs.
no,
and
but they're
server
very good at
issues.
building on that. You know, now we've come to expect a Blizzard game to have a couple of bugs, and then within a couple of
I mean,
couple of
anything
weeks,
that gets released is going to have bugs when everyone goes to play it. It's just going to happen.
I know. I think we put too much pressure on developers these days to be like, you've got to make a fantastic game
It's like
right off the bat.
Remember when you were happy with like 42 pixels of stuff?
Cube Brush. Sorry, Cube Brush. It was.
QBrush.
Cube Brush was created by an Expedition employee, and you can actually tell by some of his tutorials that he was an Expedition employee just because the style of his tutorials,
Yeah, they.
and then the characters he creates are very similar to what you'd expect from Blizzard.
That's because that was his art style.
Well, exactly.
So yeah, I think it's likely that this FPS is probably either a new IP, which I wouldn't mind, or StarCraft based.
I would be surprised if Blizzard brought out a new IP this
Yeah.
soon after Overwatch.
It's not what
their
they do.
other new IP to come out. No,
I-
Blizzard take their time and they make sure it's perfect and it will work. Before they release it.
I would be surprised, but yet I wouldn't be surprised because they pushed the boat out with Overwatch, and so they've probably got a load of things backlogged.
Well,
and they're saying, right, Overwatch was the tester. Throw that out. did absolutely fantastically. So what about
Have a
this
good
next
tester.
one? You know, they've got the money to spend. They can
Yeah.
say, "Hey, let's throw 20 million on this and see how it goes."
I suppose
And
it's
not-
a case of if they're hiring now, then it won't be for another 2-3 years before the game will come out anyway. And with Blizzard, it'd probably be at
How-
least 2 or 3 years before it's announced.
Yeah, how many positions are there? Because if it's 1 or 2, it's probably for an
It'll
existing
definitely
IP.
be for Overwatch then.
But if it's they're looking
was-
at 30, 40,
I can't remember exactly
Well-
what it was, but it was like one person, but it was for a lead position.
Right,
If-
so they
with,
start the leadership
with-
and then they move down.
Yeah, with a lot of experience in first-person shooters.
Blizzard's always taking on people anyway. I mean, if you go onto their careers website, they've got a massive list of hundreds of different jobs. You know, all the way from marketing down to sorting out their servers actually in the building. You know, it's they've got a huge range of different jobs. Always,
it's a huge company.
always
now.
being available.
There's always going to be people moving.
Yeah, exactly. There's always people that are just going in there, get the experience. They've worked at Blizzard, now they can work anywhere type thing.
yeah. But I can almost see them not making another FPS, and that this would be something for Overwatch for the simple fact of they've got, you know, each of their games that they've got is in a different genre. When you think Warcraft was originally in the strategy, now it's in massive multiplayer online. You know, Overwatch is your first-person shooter. StarCraft is your strategy. Everything's in.
Heroes of the Storm with your MOBA.
Yeah, they've not got their eggs in the same basket. It's
Diablo's your top
all,
down.
yeah, it's all spread out now. So I
Yeah.
can't really see them going and making another FPS because they've already got one technically.
Unless they're going to bring out a second Overwatch.
Yeah,
Which
but
is likely. I mean, because obviously they work in a very slow way. Well, not slow, but well thought out way. So
If Blizzard
it's
are going
gonna
to do
take a
something,
while
they're
to
going to
come
do it right.
fruition.
yeah. So I've also got on here Nintendo Switch. This was something that we wanted to talk about because, you know, as we mentioned in the last podcast, we have applied for a dev kit for this. But the Nintendo Switch in the UK is said to be, or is rumoured to be released at £200.
Yes, that was based on two sources. I can't remember who.
I think one of
shared
them was Game. Game released
Yeah,
a...
or someone released
Yeah.
games. Yeah, so they released their numbers supposedly, and then there's rumored to be another one that's like an extra maybe £50, which was slightly more powerful, and it comes with the game probably.
Yeah, because I had heard a lot of things had been almost, you know, leaked and rumoured the same in America, but the price that it is in America is a lot
Yeah,
in comparison to what it is here. So if it's for £200 here, it was something like
might be thinking of-
$320.
that was Canadian dollars, I think.
That could be it, yeah.
So that would be the difference, and the other one was roughly $250.
If NVIDIA 1080s are anything to go by, where they are only about $400 in America, and over here they are over $600, then I highly doubt the Switch will be cheaper here than it is in America.
Exactly, especially with, you know, the difference between the pound and the dollar at the moment. Is I don't think it's that much anymore,
Thank
is
you,
it?
Brexit.
Thank you very much,
I'm not
Brexit.
gonna go there though.
But it is something, you know, they're quite close if I remember correctly
Yeah,
at the
it's
time of
not
this.
far off.
It's, you know, pound's still stronger, but by like
I believe it's about
10 pence if that.
I believe it's 1.12.
Yeah, exactly.
Pounds.
So it's where in comparison to what it has been.
Before Brexit before the referendum was really, you know, even came along, it was a good £1.80.
Yeah.
About that. It was
So-
almost $2 to the
Yeah,
pound,
yeah,
and
so-
it was in New Zealand $2 almost exactly to the pound.
Yeah, so to have the Switch cheaper here than it is in America
Very unlikely.
is very unlikely. Very unlikely. But £200 wouldn't be a bad...
I mean, for a starting console as
Yeah.
well. Like,
I don't think that would be bad, especially
If
if
only,
Nintendo
you
is
know,
usually quite
it's
cheap
good.
anyway.
we
Well,
can hope that.
Yeah.
I think because of how Nintendo's been going over the recent years, they can't afford to make it expensive.
No.
Yeah, but they probably could have afforded to just like make a normal console.
But they've always been the ones that push technology. Like, look at
Yeah.
the Wii. That
Yeah,
was,
But
we'd
it was
gone,
so
we'd gone.
bad.
It wasn't.
The Wii,
I really enjoyed the
I
Wii.
hate the Wii.
I really enjoyed
But
it.
it was a case of it was never used to its full potential. It could have gone so much further, but they were the ones that started off the
Yeah.
motion
Yeah, that's true.
capture.
Nintendo always been that one to push out the boat a bit more
Yeah.
than everyone else.
But I just think they're never going to go out of business just because their IPs are so good.
Yeah, they know how to make an IP basically. But
And
It's-
how to restrict theirs so that only they can use it.
so hopefully this new console is going to bring them out of the ditch that they've pretty much been in. We can hope, and hopefully they'll get back to us and say, "Hey guys, do you want to develop your game for Nintendo Switch?" That would be amazing
That was
if
sick.
they did that. That would be absolutely.
Can we have a free couple Nintendo Switches
Yeah.
so that we can
Well-
just play test it?
There'll be
What-
dev kits.
One thing that does annoy me about Nintendo is they've got such regulations on video capture for and certain
Copyright.
copyright on videos. So if you want to post up a video of Nintendo, anything on their consoles, it's very, very, they're very against it. They don't like it when you take a video, which I think is really strange because the market for that is massive. So why not use it to advertise
it's
for
not.
free?
It's not massive for them. Like
Because
as
they,
advertising it would be. Like EA's just recently changed their licensing and stuff for YouTube. Like they'll have, I think they had problems with people thinking that what people were saying in their opinion being what EA had paid them to say.
yeah,
So now they've got this whole system that they're using.
I know
Yeah.
what you mean. Like a lot of YouTubers will say, "Hey, this video is sponsored by EA," therefore, or they won't say this, but they'll basically be saying, "I'm going to review this game. I'm going to be positive about it."
So I think if EA's had anything to do with the video, so if they've given them a review copy of a game or anything, it will say EA sponsored.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to do
Yeah.
it anyway. Is you're supposed to say
So
this video is sponsored.
Yeah,
you can't if a video is not sponsored or is sponsored. Sorry, if a video is sponsored, you've got to put in your video. This video is sponsored by
Oh.
EA.
I'm also
Or-
forever hearing the opposite, where loads of YouTubers saying, "I'm not sponsored by. This is
Yeah.
not sponsored by. I'm not
But that's
endorsing."
Yeah.
because
because they're just trying to put
if-
their own personal
yeah.
opinion
Yeah.
across.
But if you enjoy that game, that's why people think you're sponsored.
Yeah.
It's almost
just because you can't tell in
Yeah.
this day and age where people's opinions are coming from.
But to be fair, some YouTubers are paid to
yeah
play games and show it
by
off.
those developers.
Yeah, like
So now they'll just be simple as it's in their usage agreement, I think. Now.
yeah.
So that you have to say
This video is
there'll be a
sponsored.
sponsor banner or a different type of banner for not sponsored content.
So, one of my favorite games on Nintendo has always been Monster Hunter. Like I played the hell out of Monster Hunter
never
Try.
really played it.
It's you've got to play it. It's
so
so good. But
It's no longer. It's not Nintendo. It's
oh,
on
it was I played it on the Wii.
Oh,
So it's Capcom that.
yeah.
I believe.
It's Capcom or
Well, I don't know where it is now,
Yeah.
but I played a lot of Try.
Get your facts straight, people.
Shut up. Yeah, and I'm really excited about this news. But apparently, they're releasing a Monster Hunter cinematic universe.
yeah.
So
I'm not sure if it's just rumor at this point. Or
I don't believe anything's been confirmed.
no.
But I am really, really excited. If this is true,
Yes, it is Capcom.
yeah. So it looks like it has been confirmed, and it's being made by the same guys that make the Resident?
That was
Resident
it,
Evil film team. So I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
never been a huge fan of the films that much.
No.
Oh, I love Resident Evil. The cliffhanger they left it on last. Well, it wasn't
what you
really
like
a
the
cliffhanger.
films?
Yeah, they're great. I mean, yes, one of them does seem to be a bit of a superhuman, but that's what the entire virus is for, to make super soldiers. And the ending to the last one was amazing. I watched the trailer for the new one that was announced,
You're looking forward to the final.
and
Then?
I am. I've been following it since right at the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's just
So I
I'm
think
looking
I've
forward to
watched
so
them
much.
all, but I don't know. I just
Yeah.
prefer other films a lot more.
Well, that's the thing. It's this last one is the last Resident Evil. This is where they finish it because it ends where it began.
Yeah.
They're going right back to where it all first started and finishing it, and it's just,
Until
I
they
think it's
find a
so
new
cool.
way to milk the franchise.
Well, they still got the games for that.
But yeah, I think it's maybe because I never played the games.
Yeah, I wasn't. That
I
fussed
never played
about
the games.
Really?
Yeah,
I wasn't fussed about watching the films because I didn't play the games.
Yeah.
Well,
it never really.
I played Resident
drew
Evil
me in.
5 a lot with a friend, and that I really enjoyed Resident Evil 5. He said it had elements of Resident Evil 4, which he thought was the best, and then Resident Evil 6 wasn't that great. But it's a very unusual franchise, Resident Evil, because it's not very often that you get a franchise that has films and games that are disconnected.
Yeah, because usually they're connected in some way, and that usually does terrible.
Yeah,
Um,
but I think there's only been they have had characters from the games in the films, but the storylines don't quite line
yeah,
up.
because you're going to say if it's along the same storyline, that's called transmedia storytelling, which is something that I'm writing about in my dissertation, as a matter of fact. But it's never really cross-media transmedia storytelling has never really been used to its full potential, not properly anyway. I think Halo did it, and Halo did it reasonably well, but that's probably because
I think Blizzard's doing very well, as with all this stuff that goes
With
well.
their comics and stuff.
Yeah.
Because they've got comics, books, they've got animated series.
but
they've got everything.
it's the stuff that
That's Warcraft alone.
yeah, transmedia that they do transmedia storytelling quite well in Warcraft. But what transmedia storytelling is it's along the same storyline.
Yeah.
So Warcraft is a great example because between the events of Mist and Pandaria, and this is something that I've written about in my dissertation, between the events of Mist and Pandaria and Warlords of Draenor, there was a big happening with the trial of Garrosh, and that was written into the book War Crimes. That is transmedia storytelling because it's along the same storyline,
Yeah.
but it's on two different mediums.
And they
It's-
kind of fill in their gaps. with
Yeah,
each other.
pretty much.
They went a different approach with Legion. Like, for instance, they did not explain how Gul'dan opened the demon portal in the Tomb of Sargeras. In the actual game, they didn't really explain it, but they released an audiobook, a 4-part audiobook on YouTube, which goes through it, and I really, really enjoyed listening to it.
Really, really good
It was
use
really
of transmedia
Yeah,
storytelling.
and that explained the battle between Maiev, Khadgar, and Gul'dan all the way through to opening Demon Pool. It was really, really good.
We should probably wrap up soon, but Avatar's been pushed back another year to 2018.
Oh,
which-
god damn it. What year did Avatar, was the original one, did that come out in 2012, I want to say?
No,
Hang
it
on.
was earlier.
Was it
than
earlier?
that. I think it might even be 8 or 10.
Do you know what? Even though the original Avatar got criticised a lot
2009?
2009, that's it.
Jeez, I was well off.
because
Yeah, it is.
although the original Avatar got criticised a lot for because apparently it took them a really long time to make, and it got criticised a lot of being not the great film it was supposed to be.
'Cause
I thought it was amazing.
I-
It was such
I
a
really like
beautiful
it.
film.
Really like it.
It's one of my favourite films.
Yeah,
Yeah.
likewise.
But the reason it took so long to make is because they had to make pretty much all of the gear that they used,
Yeah, and it was a case of
which completely changed up the 3D
Yeah.
film.
and it was a case that they had to wait for the technology to advance.
Yes.
Like that's
Yeah.
something that James said was, I can't make this film because I've got this vision, but the technology can't keep up with it.
Exactly. But the original Avatar was so beautiful. It was I loved it.
So there's
I
3
absolutely
more
love it.
planned.
Is it 3 more?
There's
I wasn't
3 more
sure.
planned, yeah.
I knew there was definitely 2.
Yeah.
The next one, I do believe, is about the moons of Pandora.
I'm not sure.
You see-
I'm not sure it's been like fully.
You see, I don't mind them pushing it back just because it's like I'd prefer them to get it right
Yeah.
than to release something that isn't finished.
So
Yeah,
I think
I agree.
the reason they've pushed it back this time is because the next Star Wars comes out next year, so they don't
Yeah.
want to compete for it. So they'll just
That's very wise actually.
Which
because
was-
you find a lot of media and
Oh.
games that
Going
really try
back
and compete
back
with
to
each other.
Blizzard, was they postponed the launch of Warcraft, the film, because the original date was, I believe I could be wrong here, but I believe it was scheduled for the exact same day that Star Wars Episode 7 came out. You're not going to compete with that, even if you are Blizzard.
Yeah.
Like, you've got no chance.
And
To,
considering-
there's so, like, it's something that you've really got to pay attention to in the industry, because so many games like Battlefield, Titanfall, and Call of Duty are all competing for that limelight, and only one's really going to take it.
and it's going, the one that gets it first, or gets their release first, basically, is the one that's going to get it, pretty much.
All right,
Should we wrap it up there?
I reckon so.
Brilliant. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I'm literally dying here. I can't even.
Yeah.
George is very ill.
I am very ill. We forgot to say that as well.
Yeah.
The reason I sound like death
Like
is
shit.
Yeah, pretty much. It's because
He sounds like shit.
I find so much shit. Yeah, we're gonna wrap it here. Thank you, everyone, for listening. The next media podcast will be in 2 weeks. Next week we'll have the Detail Entertainment podcast, so tune in for that. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.